Dear listeners, I am Dr. Atish Mundada, Associate Professor with SNJBs, Shriman Suresh Dada Jain College of Pharmacy, Chandwad, Nasik. Today, we would like to discuss about role of regulatory affair professional. In our previous lecture, we have seen how important regulatory affair department is, and we have discussed about various regulatory networks. So, when you are working into the Department of Regulatory Affairs, there are different responsibilities which you will have to shoulder. You can work as a regulatory affair professional either as a policymaker into health authorities, or you can be the follower of the guidelines or policies which have been framed by the health authorities or regulatory authorities and ensure that the manufacturer follows those guidelines to ensure that the safe and quality medicines reaches to the pharmaceutical market. So there are different roles and responsibilities as a regulatory affair professional. In health authorities, you have different roles and responsibilities to shoulder. And if you are working into pharmaceutical industries or regulatory affair professional, then there are different roles and responsibilities which you will have to take care of. So in our today's lecture, we will elaborate about these roles and responsibilities of regulatory affair professionals. So whenever any new formulation reaches to the market, it is being approved by the regulatory authorities, either of that country, if the country is having its own regulatory authority, or if the country in which we are willing to put our product into is a part of a regional regulatory authority, then that regulatory guidelines we will have to follow and ensure that quality medicine will reach to the market, and all the course of approval of a drug product or pharmaceutical product goes through a rigorous activities which are being supervised and controlled by regulatory affair professionals. So let us discuss in detail about the roles and responsibilities of this regulatory affair professional. As I said earlier, as a regulatory affair professional, you can work into health authority as a policy maker, or if you are working into pharmaceutical industry, you will be follower of those policies which have been laid down by the health authorities or regulatory authorities of the country or of the region into which you are willing to put your product into. So in health authority, the role of health authority is to prepare the drug regulatory guidelines and guidance document which are compliant to the existing laws. Whatever guidelines are being prepared, health authority will have to coordinate with the global or regional regulatory body, and at the same time their stakeholder, that is your pharmaceutical manufacturers, should be also taken into consultation before issuing the technical requirements and processes for marketing authorization approval. And another important area into which regulatory affair professional can work is the pharmaceutical industry. So here, when you are working into a pharmaceutical industry, you will have to ensure that whatever manufacturing takes place into the industry, that takes place according to the guidelines which are being laid down by the regulatory authority. So manufacturer will develop the drugs or drug products according to the regulatory necessity of quality, safety, and efficacy, and based on that only should be able to apply for marketing authorization. So if the regulatory guidelines are not being followed during manufacturing, then it is very difficult for a manufacturer to get his product approved for marketing in the particular country. So the regulatory advisor or a regulatory affair professional, he plays a vital role by keeping himself or herself updated with the latest regulatory norms, depending upon in which region or in which market we are willing to put our product into. It may be national regulatory authority, it may be regional regulatory authority, or global regulatory authority guidelines, which we will have to follow. We'll have to keep ourselves updated and update our organization. We'll have to define the regulatory strategies of the pharmaceutical industry into which we are working. And then when our product is being ready, we'll have to put an application for marketing authorization for the developed product. So very key role regulatory affair professional will play in getting the product approved for marketing, whether you work into health authority or whether you are working into pharmaceutical industry. The regulatory affair professional is going so as a regulatory affair professional, you are going to be the link between health authority and pharmaceutical industry. So let us discuss the roles of regulatory affair professional in connection with the health authorities, and then we'll be discussing about the roles in connection with the pharmaceutical industries. So first one, there are different 5 key roles which are being played by a regulatory affair professional when he or she is working into health authorities as a policy maker. So first role is evaluation of marketing authorization application. When any pharmaceutical manufacturer put an application for getting his product approved for marketing, that application will be evaluated by a regulatory affair professional working into health authority. Next important role is input for guidelines and guidance document. As a regulatory affair professional, you will have to give the inputs to the government or regulatory authority for guidelines and guidance documents which needs to be prepared for pharmaceutical manufacturers. As a regulatory affair professional working into health authority, you will have to carry out so many inspection and to ensure that the quality and safe medicine will be manufactured by the manufacturer and will reach to the market. Then time to time, you will have to support to the pharmaceutical manufacturer and will have to keep them updated regarding the new guidelines and guidance document which you are preparing and going to be enforced very soon in the future. And last important role as a regulatory affair professional working into health authority is monitoring of drug safety and efficacy. Because at the end of the day, when a regulatory affair professional is working into health authority, he has to ensure that only safe and efficacious medicines will reach to the market and available for human consumption. So first, evaluation of marketing authorization application. When sitting into the health authority or a member of regulatory authorities, you will have to evaluate marketing authorization application. May it be for a new drug, may it be for new biologics, medical devices or cosmetic applications. Even it can be a generic application which is being submitted by the manufacturer, or it could be the clinical trial which some sponsor is interested in initiating, or variation application or drug master file for given API, excipients or packaging materials, site master file for GMP inspection. So these are the different applications which could have been submitted to the health authorities, and as a regulatory affair professional, you will have to evaluate them. Then based on your evaluation, you will have to issue an evaluation comments or exigencies to the manufacturer, so that whatever discrepancies could be there into the application, that could be fulfilled by the manufacturer and he can submit the application. Then managing variation application, post approval changes and keeping record of annual update. You have to ensure that whatever product have been approved, its annual update is being submitted by the manufacturer to the health authority. Even if some manufacturer is interested in doing some post approval changes, those post approval changes should also be evaluated by the regulatory affair professional working into health authority. Then post marketing approval management, he will have to evaluate issuance of marketing authorization approval after application evaluation and finding everything to the best of your satisfaction. As a health authority professional, you will be issuing a marketing authorization approval to the manufacturer, or GMP certification or GCP approval certificate for initiating the clinical trials. You have to also manage the marketing authorization application online and upgradation towards common technical document format. Next is input, which you need to give for preparation of guidelines and guidance documents. Issuance of guidelines and guidance documents for quality, safety, efficacy, and pricing control, as well as CTD for implementation. And while preparing these guidelines and guidance document, you have to collaborate with global and regional regulatory authorities for exchange of technical knowledge, developing guidelines, as well as allotting mutual recognition status for technical documents, GMP status, and product approval. Because whatever guidelines and guidance document which will be prepared, it has to be in accordance with the other regulatory authorities in the world. And so you need to collaborate with global and regional regulatory authorities while preparing the regulatory guidelines. At the same time, you will have to be a part of foreign trade delegation to facilitate smooth management of pharmaceutical business within the countries, and you will try your level best to minimize the barrier by reducing duplicate generation of technical data and reducing the timeline for evaluation and approval by respecting each other regulatory framework. Next is inspection. As a regulatory affair professional working into health authority, you will have to perform GMP audits for drug manufacturing sites or GCP audits for clinical study sites and bioequivalence centers, and issue the certification confirming the approval status. Then as a regulatory affair professional working into health authority, you will have to support the pharmaceutical manufacturers as well. So supporting manufacturer in defining drug development pathway during pre-NDA meeting and providing comments or confirming development pathway, which will help manufacturer to speed up the process of development of a formulation and taking it to the market. Then time to time, you should try to hold meetings with the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association to discuss ongoing challenges, technical issues, or whatever guidelines or guidance documents you are going to come up with, that should be discussed with the Pharmaceutical Manufacturer Association. And whatever future development you are expecting, that must be communicated to the pharmaceutical manufacturers so that they can keep themselves updated with the current scenario and can prepare themselves for the future endeavors as well. Then last important role as a regulatory affair professional working into health authority is monitoring of the drug safety and efficacy. Whatever product have been approved by health authority for manufacturing and for marketing into the country, they must be monitored for safety. So monitoring drug safety by collecting pharmacovigilance data, to which we call it as phase 4 trial data, post-marketing surveillance, which is pharmacovigilance data, and reviewing drugs in markets time to time by reviewing their labels and taking appropriate action accordingly if you are finding there is some problems or there are some discrepancies into the labels or the storage conditions or quality of the product which are there into the market. Then you will have to monitor clinical trials as well as approving the study results for the next phase of study, because in clinical trials you have different phases of the trials: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So when one phase is being completed, the data will be submitted to the health authority, and that data will be evaluated, and based on the evaluation result, the sponsor will be given a nod for initiating the next phase of the study, allowing speedy or fast track designation for essential drugs to patient population. As we have seen in current scenario, that for corona vaccine has been approved on fast track by CDSCO because it is the need of an hour. So seeing the benefit of patient population, you will have to sometimes speed up or fast track your application of the product, and you will have to evaluate and approve it at the earliest in interest of the public health. So these were the roles which a regulatory affair professional will be playing if he or she is working into the health authority. Next is roles of regulatory affair professional working into the pharma industry. There are 4 important roles which you will have to shoulder working into the pharmaceutical industry. One is define regulatory strategies for the drug development. So whatever drug development will take place into the industry, the strategies for the drug development will be given by the regulatory affair professional. Second key role is marketing authorization application to be prepared and submitted to the health authorities for approval. As a regulatory affair professional working into the pharma industry, you will have to ensure that you have a good relationship with the health authority people so that your work and your application will be evaluated at a faster speed and your product reaches to the market at the earliest. And last important role is regulatory systems and processes to be implemented into the industry wherever you are working. to ensure that only quality and safe medicine will be manufactured by your manufacturer and will be easily approved by the regulatory authorities for human consumption. So first one, defining regulatory strategies for drug development based on the intended market, whether you are going for a national regulatory authority, regional regulatory authority, or the guidelines which are being given by WHO, whichever guidelines are applicable to that particular intended market, that will be followed. So that strategy regarding the guidelines which needs to be followed will be given by regulatory affair professional. Critical role will be during selection of the drug product for specific market. You will have to be the part of a business development, marketing and project team meeting. You will have to define the type of application in consultation with specified health authority, whether it will be a new drug application or generic application. Keep on meeting with health authorities to define clinical regulatory pathway. And based on your evaluation, based on your knowledge, you will have to prepare global regulatory plan for the product development, defining chemistry, manufacturing and controls, clinical and non-clinical requirements for the product. Then you will have to advise the research and development team to develop product at a laboratory scale, matching regulatory criteria of the intended market. In case of generic drug, regulatory strategists advise which reference listed drug is to be used, what should be the test criteria and specifications to be followed for active pharmaceutical ingredient and the drug. Product for different kind of dosage forms, stability data requirement of specific climatic zone like zone 1 to zone 4 for drug substance and drug product, analytical validation requirement, in vitro equivalence data. All this information is to be given to the R&D department during the product development at lab scale. Then support in terms of executing the validation batches at manufacturing locations, defining batch size, number of batch sizes, criteria and justification for specification, evaluation of technical data that will be taken care of as a regulatory affair professional working into the pharma industry. Then bioequivalence or bioavailability criteria, defining study protocol and getting concurrence from respective health authority. Labeling requirements for generic submission, replica of innovator labeling information. If we are going for new drug application, then labeling will be based on actual clinical and non-clinical study, which is being carried out by you into your industry. Applying for site specification for good practices confirmation, because your site needs to be approved for manufacturing, and that application will be done for getting your site approved. For manufacturing site, we need GMP certification. For bioequivalence and clinical sites, we need GCP certification from the health authorities. Next role as a regulatory affair professional working into pharma industry is marketing authorization application, preparation of it and submission of it to the health authorities. Deciding the submission type based on the product, you will have to decide whether you can apply for a new drug application, whether it will be a new biologic application, whether it will be just a clinical trial application, or generic application, branded generic application, whether it is post-approval changes application or variation application. There are different types of drug master files. We'll be talking about it in our lectures later on. Based on the type, you will have to submit the drug master file, whether it is for active substance or site master file only for packaging material or excipients. Based on that, you will submit the drug master file, which is known as DMF. Then you will have to prepare dossier in acceptable format or common technical format for global submission. So this preparation of dossier, it all depends upon the region or the country to which or the market which is being intended market for your product, and based on that you will have to prepare the dossier. Then justifying the dossier application with other regulatory agencies recommendation and precedents as well as global and regional requirement. Then you will have to put up formal application to the respective health authority for approval of your product for marketing. Technical evaluation and support to the manufacturing location and clinical sites during authority inspection. Whenever health authority people will visit your site for inspection, at the time you will have to support and help manufacturing people for inspection by the health authorities. Then drafting query exigencies response to the health authority in time with prior discussion. So whenever site inspection will be carried out, if there is any discrepancy or any query which is being raised by the health authority personnel, at that time you will have to draft the response to that query and you will have to respond to the health authorities in time. Support for drug submission or approval calendar preparation and predicting approval timeline for drug product and aligning the marketing department for launch schedule. Because as a regulatory affair professional, you have an idea that how much time your product can take for approval. So based on that, you can prepare or predict the approval timeline, and accordingly, you can prepare your marketing department for launch schedule of your product. Then managing drug product registration life cycle by timely submission of post-approval changes, annual update, and renewal submission to the health authorities. Submitting pharmacovigilance data to health authority for already marketed drugs. When your drug product is being approved for marketing, you'll have to keep updating health authorities, and that information which is being submitted is known as pharmacovigilance data, which is to be submitted time to time. Then withdrawal or cancellation application for drug in case if it is mandatory. So if something goes wrong with the product and you are asked or you need to withdraw or cancel your application, you should do it as early as possible. Third important role is health authority relationship. As I said earlier, when you are working as a regulatory affair professional, you are going to follow the guidelines which are being issued by regulatory authorities. So you have to be part of health authorities meeting to play advisory roles in terms of defining guidelines from industry point of view. Comments and suggestions needs to be given during draft guidelines and circulars whenever it is possible and applicable. You should develop good working relationship with evaluators of health authorities so that they keep you updated regarding the future developments which are going to take place. Keeping updated about latest regulatory guidelines and upcoming changes to take proactive steps for alignment of manufacturers with the regulations. World is changing fast and we know that guidelines keeps changing. So as a regulatory affair professional, it is a responsibility of you that you should keep yourself updated, and knowing the upcoming changes that are going to take place, you should take proactive steps for alignment of your manufacturers with the regulations. And last is regulatory systems and processes. Keeping records for drug product submission approval database. Whatever products have been submitted for approval, the record of it needs to be there, maintained properly by the regulatory affairs department. And approval database, when which product was being approved, all those information needs to be kept properly. Then preparing SOPs for efficient management of Drug Regulatory Affairs Department. It is a responsibility of regulatory affairs professional, providing internal training to the staff to keep them updated about regulatory environment. You can be a part of regulatory forums, conferences, webinars, seminars to exchange regulatory knowledge and to have a clear-cut idea about future into the regulatory. Organize proper storage of submission documents through information technology. You should take help of IT so that voluminous data can be stored easily and can be retrieved as and when it will be required. Then you should be aware about the softwares which should be there or which could be there for online submissions in common technical dossier format or CTD format. So burdensome job is there as a regulatory affair professional, but for sure, if you are keeping yourself updated and you are very keen on ensuring that only quality and safe medicines will reach to the market, then as a regulatory affair professional, you will really enjoy your job, whether you are working into the health authority or whether you are working into the pharmaceutical industry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. So in our next lecture, we'll discuss about the type of applications which are being submitted to the regulatory authorities for approval: NDA, ANDA, or IND. When you are going for a clinical trial, initiation of clinical trials, you will have to submit IND. After completion of clinical trials, and when you are ready for marketing of your product, at that time you will have to get your product approved for marketing. So you will have to submit NDA if it is a new drug, or if you are coming up with a generic version of the existing drug, then you will be submitting the generic application or ANDA application, ANDA, to the regulatory authorities. So we'll be discussing about all these types of application in our next lecture. Thank you. Thank you very much.